Let's take the next several posts and really examine this idea of having a fresh vision for eternity. In Revelation 21 and 22, we see this vision of heaven and earth, heaven coming down and earth coming up to meet it, so to speak, and that new creation is a united heaven and earth. I think that one of the things we need to do as we kind of examine this and put some of these ideas into play in the New Testament is to think about how the New Testament authors saw this whole idea of heaven working. The heavens, in the plural, are often what the New Testament authors talk about has a lot of dimensionality to it. Sometimes it is a place up there. Sometimes it is a place out there in the age to come. Other times but most of the time it is this present reality that we're living in, that heaven is a different dimension of the space. It's God's space. It's the invisible space, but it's real space versus the physical space that you and I live in. So a classic example of this is in Ephesians chapter 6, where we're talking about we're not warring against human beings, but against demonic powers in the heavenly realms. And so I think it's important for us to kind of consider this a much more integrated cosmology, an integrated way of thinking about the heavens and the earth and the future, and how in eternity those are going to be united. That the Christian hope is not that you go to heaven when you die. The Christian hope is that you get to go be with Jesus. That's what the Apostle Paul says. He says, I could stay, but also it's a whole lot better if I go to be with the Lord. And that is, he's saying, if I die, I go to be with the Lord. He doesn't say where necessarily. He says, I'm going to go be with the Lord. And that's one of the things that we saw in Revelation 21 and 22, is that the central feature of eternity, the central feature of the new creation, is that God is with everyone, that they are with God. And so I want to ask you to start thinking about how is it that you think about heaven, and how is it that you think about earth? Because as we're talking about a new creation and that everything is working its way toward that new creation, that's the vision of Revelation 21 and 22. It's the revelation of all the biblical authors. Then we need to calibrate ourselves to what they are saying about what heaven and earth and eternity is going to be like.